What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. We got some stuff to talk about today. There's a blindside in the works. We had an episode that we've been waiting days to see, but luckily we had feeds. And today's D-Day. Today is the day on the feeds that it all is gonna pop off. I'm super excited for today, and I hope you guys are too. First off, let's just break down real quick what happened in the episode. We've been waiting days to see what happened with the eviction, the HOH, and everything that went on. But the feeds have been the real story. I kept thinking since yesterday, what if we didn't have feeds this weekend? What if CBS and Big Brother said, hey, you know what, the eviction, it was supposed to be on Thursday, but you know what, there's this committee hearing about these dumb people who did some dumb stuff on a dumb day, and they listened to a dumb guy, and now we have to figure out what's going on, so we got to push the episode from Thursday to Sunday. Guess what? That means you guys don't get any feeds. We would be so confused today with the live feeds, especially if like we only just got them back last night. We'd be like, huh, it looks like it's still Taylor. As I'm recording this, actually, 25-year-old King Joseph, he's still up with Ameerah. I was holding off as long as I could because I was like, maybe there might be just a little something. Taylor was still up, Joseph was still up, but I've waited now long enough. I think we're okay to keep talking. I have them up listening just in case as they do laundry. But yeah, it was the thing where I was like, man, I am so glad they gave us feeds this weekend, because if we didn't have them, we would have missed a whole lot. So in the episode, we see kind of how everything worked out with the HOH competition, how guys were handling Pooch being the target. I will say one thing about the episode, and I don't think they did a lot of it, but it felt like there might have been a little bit of a re-edit since the events and since the turn in the game. It felt like they were kind of trying to foreshadow the idea that the leftovers are going to be coming in the episode. It just felt to me like there was some stuff that prior to those events they might not have included in the episode, and they might have just let it ride for the casuals. But overall, they definitely kept going with kind of the summering down of you know, what the people like Nicole and Daniel and Jasmine and Ameerah, what they're really doing inside this house, and how they are treating Taylor. And they're not really showing that as much, and they're more trying to show it as like, yeah, this is strategic, baby, this makes sense. And it's really more like, oh, they just want to go after her. So it was nice to see how that all played out, but overall it was just another kind of like filler episode with a lot of stuff that it felt like watching a rerun. This stuff felt so long ago now at this point that it was like, yeah, like we're so far behind, we're so far ahead of this. We need more. We need more. One thing I do want to point out is I really liked this HOH competition. Obviously the festy bestie twist is its own thing. We have the pairs up here, and we got to see how that turned out with who chose who. And it was funny to see them talking about like, yeah, we chose it because of Pose Pack and this and that. So it was funny to watch it play out, knowing what we know now from the feeds. And but overall, I liked the competition. It was kind of a weird musical chairs, but with like an endurance comp mixed in there. It was fun. I liked it. It actually almost reminded me of Buzzkill from BB Can. It was kind of like a little bit of that mixed in with an endurance. So Buzzkill, if anybody hasn't watched BB Can, think of it as almost the exact same way, but instead of holding a button, there's a button in front of you. There will be a timer that you can't see, and at different intervals, it's going to go off, and the last one to hit their button is eliminated, and they go kind of rounds. It goes for hours. It's always a lot of fun to watch on the feeds, except for BB Can 10. They had some issues with the buzzers. But that's what I was thinking, actually. I was like, man, this would be a fun competition to watch on the feeds and see it play out. But sadly, that wasn't the case since this episode had to be moved. We didn't get it on the live feeds. It would have been interesting if they didn't move the episode. Would we have seen it? Probably not. But yeah, it was overall filler episode, just like all the other ones. But let's get into the feeds, because that's what we really are interested in. And yesterday, the entire time, it was all about little hints and watching the leftovers as they kind of maneuver through the house. So let's bring up the alliance chart here so we can see kind of the breakdown and the leftovers, the other side of the house there that has old school plus Indy. One thing I have kind of been hearing, and I agree with, I just don't know how I want to add it to this alliance chart. So if any of you guys have a good idea of how to represent it properly, let me know. So the only thing I think that's missing from this chart is Kyle and Alyssa, and I don't know exactly how to represent that, right? Because there's obviously the whole flirtmance showmance thing, but they're playing each other, right? Like Alyssa's letting stuff slip to Kyle. Kyle was giving her just enough information. The leftovers really only began because of information that Kyle was able to get from Alyssa about old school, which today Alyssa was backtracking on. So they were out by the hammock, and Alyssa's like, "Oh yeah, remember that alliance I was telling you about? Yeah. That was I forget who she tried to blame it on. I think it was Daniel. I think she tried to blame it on Daniel, the old school alliance, instead of blaming it on like Ameerah or Jasmine. So she was trying to deflect and like take it away from the others. And Kyle totally picked it up. He's like, "Oh yeah. Went and told all the other guys." There's a lot of talk about airing out some of the things that weren't said with the leftovers. For example, we talked about during the episode and how they picked the pairs. There was a lot of talk about Pose Pack. The guys are like, "Look, we got to get the pound together. We'll tell the pound about Pose Pack." Michael and Brittany, they had the conversation about Pose Pack. He's like, "Listen, there's one thing I haven't told you." And he kind of told her, and she was like, I get it, right? And she's like, honestly, like, what are you gonna do, right? If somebody comes to you with an alliance, are you gonna say no? And she's like, I literally don't even care, right? Like, it's fine. I trust you. You're good, right? So it was a very easy conversation, and that seems to be what a lot of the leftovers are feeling right now. They were like, man, this just feels right finally. Like all the other alliances, it just always didn't feel exactly right, like we were a part of it and we were in it, and this feels good. The plan's still a go. One of the things they were thinking about was dropping little hints, right? Having like Turner like try and be like, yeah, man, it sucks seeing like how upset like Taylor and Nicole are, and dropping it like, oh, maybe Taylor's not being treated right, and trying to make this more of an emotional decision than a strategic decision, so that when the news does drop today with the veto ceremony, that they have an excuse. Michael and Brittany are going to play dumb, like they had no idea. They're like, "What? We had the veto. We just used it. We thought it was going to be Taylor and Nicole going up." Joseph, the king, the 25-year-old Joseph, he had been playing Ameerah hard. Like, he's still playing her hard as we speak. And it's amazing to watch this other side of the house walk around and be paranoid. Like, they're nervous, they're paranoid, they're sketched out about everything these guys do. Every time they come from a room, Jasmine will say something like to Joseph, like, "Oh, were you in the storage room this whole time?" He's like, "No, I went to like the room and stuff like that." She's like, "Oh, okay." Like, "Oh, is that what you were doing?" They're real sketchy about everything they're doing, but they have no idea. They still think the plan is the plan. Everybody knows what they're doing, and it's going to be Taylor and Nicole. So they have no idea this is coming today. So I'm super excited to see when the veto ceremony takes place today and the aftermath. I am I'm so pumped for this because it's going to be a line in the sand drawn. We're going to see fireworks. Ameerah is going to go into overdrive trying to campaign against Terrance. This will be the chance for the leftovers to be like, Terrance, do you see what they're doing to you? Do you see it? I imagine they'll try and keep Ameerah calm and be like, no, we'll keep you. It's fine. Turner's just doing crazy stuff, but we'll keep you. Everything's cool. We want to make sure you get that special power, Ameerah. We want to make sure you get it. Another thing, it was not specifically said you'll get a special power, but there was a line in the episode of something like, something is lying ahead for whoever, makes it out of the pairs. So like Nicole's just kind of assuming like, yeah, you're going to get an advantage. It could be a bad thing for all we know, like a little punishment. Who knows what's going to come. And I really kind of hope that it ends up not being anything like good. And it's like a weird punishment that you have to handle. Other than that, there's been not a lot of game talk. They're really focused on just getting to the veto and what happens after the veto and how they handle this and how they try and keep it hidden. Because in a perfect world, one of the things they discussed, and don't be surprised if you hear stuff on social media and the live feeds, even if you see a conversation with somebody and you're like, wait a minute, they're talking bad about Taylor. Don't be too surprised. That's kind of part of the plan. Today, Taylor was sulking in bed all day, just kind of playing sad and being like, feeling like she might go up and she's going to be able to block 3 times. That's what everybody keeps saying. Like Ameerah's like, oh, she can't win this game. This is going to be the 3rd week in a row she's on the block. Ameerah, you have no clue. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this all breaks down today with the veto. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too, and I hope you enjoy this little breakdown of what happened on the live feeds, what happened on the episode. And today is going to be the day. So I will be live over on Twitch today around like 6 o'clock. Hopefully that's after the veto ceremony and we can kind of break down what's going on. And it'll be a lot of fun. We'll be live over on Twitch, twitch.tv/OriStreams. There's a link in the description, link in the top comment. And also let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about what's going on right now? How excited are you for this veto ceremony? And what do you think? What do you think about these latest developments? I'm still so excited that this game has completely flipped on its head and we have a split house. This, what a magical time to be a Big Brother fan right now. What a magical time. Here's the other thing too. One more quick thing before we go. Potentially we could be looking at a steamroll here if the leftovers can pull this off. But it might be the most fun steamroll that we've ever seen in Big Brother in a really long time. So I'm ready for it. Thank you guys once again for watching, and I will see you next time.